Russia surpassed Saudi Arabia to become China's top crude oil supplier in 2023. You heard that right. The world's biggest crude oil importer defied Western sanctions to purchase vast quantities of discounted oil for its processing plants. Russia shipped a record 107.02 million metric tons of crude oil to China last year, far more than other major oil exporters such as Saudi Arabia and Iraq. Imports from Saudi Arabia, previously China's largest supplier, fell 1.8% to almost 86 million tons as the Middle East oil giant lost market share to cheaper Russian crude. Shunned by many international buyers following Western sanctions over Kremlin-Ukraine's war, Russian crude oil traded at significant discounts to international benchmarks for much of last year amid a Western-imposed price cap. This is in stark contrast to Indian oil imports from Russia, which have gone down in the last few months. India's December Russian oil imports fell to an 11-month low. As per media reports, India's oil imports from Russia in December declined between 16 and 22%, while imports from Saudi rose by 4%. Recently, Hardeep Singh Puri, the petroleum minister, had said that unattractive pricing is the main issue with Russian oil and that India looks to options that have more attractive pricing. A much less spoken about reason is also the pricing issue between India and Russia. India refuses to pay Russia in yuan, and Russia does not want to deal with Indian rupee as a trading currency anymore. India has been importing cheap Russian oil after the US imposed sanctions post-Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, Russia was the top oil supplier for India in the last few months, and time and again, Europe has imported Russian oil through India. China and India are amongst the top oil importers in the world, and any shift in balance and demand from these two countries changes the global oil dynamics. Recently, to support prices, Saudi and Russia, two of the world's top 3 oil producers, announced output and export cuts last year. Saudi Arabia has announced output cuts of 1 million barrels per day this quarter, while Russia said it would deepen its cut in exports to 500,000 barrels per day from 300,000 barrels per day. To counter Russian demand, the US had also lifted sanctions over Venezuela, but that hasn't stopped China from continuing oil importing from Russia. Oil export-import will be an interesting space to watch, and we at Mint shall keep you posted with the latest updates. Stay tuned to Live Mint.